Alright, let's talk textbooks. Textbooks is something that hasn't been addressed in any platform that I've ever seen in a presidential or board election since I've been at Laurier. But that doesn't mean that there's nothing that can be done about it. In the conversations I've had with students, affordability of education is a huge cause of stress. So therefore, I've got a few things in my platform that I talk about around student finances, and again, more specifically around textbooks. So this past year, what I've worked with the university towards and held them accountable to is a 50% decrease in the average cost of course packs. That's pretty significant. And that's a huge win for students financially. Now, I know, Chandler, you talk about the bookstore a lot, and that this can't be done. Well, although I respect your opinion, I strongly disagree on the merits of a lot of facts. If you look at the bookstore, it's actually an ancillary business owned and operated by the university. An ancillary business is a business that's designed to break even and provide a service to students, just the same as Residence Life, Food Services, and the One Card Office, just to name a few. So, how do we do it? Well, we input a strategy, what I referred to on my online platform. And that strategy is compiled of many different parts. Number one, we get faculty, or we encourage faculty to move from textbooks to course packs. So you go from 5 or 6 textbooks to 1 course pack. Very simple. It's something that's already been a trend already due to the decreased cost in course packs. Number 2, we get faculty to move more to online content. Again, a trend that's already occurred and that we want to see continue. Number 3, the university and the bookstore do have control over the price of textbooks. There is a markup and they are not losing money on textbooks. I can assure you of that. So, we need to work with the bookstore to move more of the revenue side of the business over to merchandise. Purchase that students may make once or twice over the course of their university career versus textbooks that you have to buy every semester. I've talked to some science students that are paying almost $1,000 a semester. This is really something that we need to tackle in a fundamental and pivotal way. Part of a longer-term strategy can also include things like working with our federal partners to reduce the parallel importation tax, which is essentially tax put on textbooks that are shipped in from the United States. This adds significant cost to them. It's a little bit of a bigger ask and a larger recommendation, but certainly CASA, the Canadian Alliance of Student Associations, has already been working towards this with the federal government and will continue to do so in the future to make textbooks cheaper for students. This has also been something that the bookstore itself has worked towards, so they're lobbying on it as well. Again, we can develop these partnerships and move forward with a united front on this issue. Again, there are other strategies that we can employ, such as looking at deferral strategies for the cost of textbooks. So at the beginning of the semester, when finances are at their most tight, when OSAP hasn't come in yet, or other revenue sources aren't there for students, they need to be able to defer the cost of textbooks the same way that you could defer tuition, as of right now, at Wilfrid Laurier University. I have spoken to full-time staff at the bookstore about a number of these initiatives, and they were very supportive of cost-cutting strategies and accessible strategies for students to purchase textbooks. And that's what makes me very excited to put this in my platform. I worked really hard at presenting a platform that was both feasible and pragmatic, and I fundamentally believe that everything in it can be accomplished in one manner or another. I've talked to students, this is a huge priority for them, and will continue to be a priority as long as textbooks stay at the price that they are. Now, another issue we want to talk about is safety. Safety is a very challenging issue to address. But no matter who gets elected, the Students' Union will continue to make it a priority, as it's ingrained in our strategic plan and our ENDS policies. There is no hard, fast solution to safety, which was why all the candidates have no real specific items. With that said, though, there are a couple things that I've worked towards already as VP University Affairs, and that I want to continue to do in the future. A lot of them are around community building and partnerships to generate awareness for where to go to when you have been assaulted or you're a survivor of sexual or physical assault, or to know where to go to when you need help at the time of the crisis. I've made a couple presentations to City Council at Waterloo talking about the safety of students and the conditions of housing, as this is another priority and a safety issue that is one of the less ones that gets talked about to a great degree. With that said, though, it's something that I've been very concerned about and tried to tackle. The Northdale Plan, for example, and the new bylaw in place for all of Waterloo that came in last year have been something that I've taken a keen interest in and worked with the city on. Moving forward, I want to utilize the partnerships that have already developed both within the city and on both campuses to address safety moving forward. So, thanks again for your comments, Chandler, and I look forward to opening up in the open forum today and talking about the issues with the other candidates, as well as over the next 2 days on the Court online debate tomorrow night and the Brantford Open Forum on Thursday. With that said, get informed, talk about the issues, and you can count on Chris.